Hi everyone, Dave here at East Rosebud Fly and Tackle in Billings, Montana. Good morning. Today I'm going to tie for you what's called a spindrift scud. It's based on Frank Sawyer's killer bug. Frank Sawyer was a river keeper in England. His whole family was for generations. And he developed the pheasant tail nymph. That was actually his biggest project there. But he also developed what he called his killer bug. Yellowstone Fly Goods does sell some different colors and what they call killer bug yarn, but what he used was this Chadwick's 477. You can sometimes find it still in fly shops. The nice thing about this yarn is the multiple colors, but also, as you'll see later, when it gets wet, it really shows not only the true colors of the yarn, but also the under thread. For the under thread, I'm going to be using some UTC 70 fluorescent fire orange, a little bit of weight. For your ribbing, you have a lot of choices. You can use tippet of various sizes, clear tippet. I'm going to be using some of this Semperfli micro metal. It comes in a variety of colors. It's tougher than French oval gold tinsel in that it doesn't come apart. And just a little bit of plastic bag, strip of plastic bag for the shellback. Let's get spindrift scud that I'm going to tie. Dry, it's pretty unassuming, but wet, you can see how the yarn becomes almost transparent and really shows the thread and the body underneath. So this is what kind of gives this a special look. Start my yarn or my thread there, use my tag end, come over it, kind of lasso that way. When I tie it down, the lead wraps don't split open and flare. And then a short tail, about 3/4 inch, 3/4 shank length. Tie it right back here at the end of the lead wraps. Use that gap, kind of even up your underbody. Slightly down around the bend. And then just use your scissor point or your bodkin, sorry for the finger, and tease that out a little bit. It will do that on its own in time. Okay, the shellback is a piece of clear plastic bag. Since this is a 2x wide hook, it's a little hard to measure it, but typically you want your shellback to be hook gap in width. That allows you to cover the top a tiny bit over the sides and still expose the bottom of your materials. I'm just going to taper this into a point like that. Take a soft wrap to grab it, tie it down with, like so, and then come down to the end of your scud, your tail. Okay, for a rib, I think today I'm going to use some of this orange micro metal. This is really good stuff. Lots of colors, it's tough. And let's see. I'm going to tie it in on the far side, the side towards you, because I'm going to wrap it in a conventional clockwise manner. And come forward, so right at the beginning of the lead wraps, and take a couple of inches of yarn here. Remember to leave room for the head. Tie down the length of it, and remember this red thread or whatever you use as an underbody will show through. If you prefer to use an orange or something like that, then you'll see that color once the yarn gets wet. I'll make it Pretty solid underbody here. Alright. Simply wrap the body. If you want, you can twist this yarn in your fingers as you're making each wrap. That will show a little bit of segmentation, but the micro metal does a better job of that. And then if you do that, unspin it, flatten it before you tie it down. That will make it just a little easier to tie it in. Now before I bring Shellback over and the micro metal, I'm going to go ahead and roughen this up a little bit. You can do it with a variety of tools. This happens to be a rifle cleaning brush. I think it's 17 caliber. It allows me to get underneath that gap here, or something like one of these brushes also does a good job. So we've got that teased out some for legs. Bring your Shellback over, stretch it a little bit, make that first wrap soft so that it encompasses the body. 2 wraps is enough to hold. And then rib. As you can see, the plastic is slick, so I'm just going to help it along there, that first wrap. This is one of those patterns, kind of a guide fly. It's very, very cheap to tie. It's very fast. It's durable. Go ahead and whip finish here. Just remember, there's no bead here, so make sure you leave some room behind the hook eye to finish this off. And once again, this is what it looks like when it's good and wet. It's a whole different animal. So that's the Spindrift Scud. If you're fishing the bighorn, this is an excellent pattern to try. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time.